Hi, everyone. My name is Netsi, and I'm here to ask Sam Legend one question.
I hope it's an easy one.
Very easy, very
Okay,
easy.
all right,
Very,
okay,
very easy.
okay.
My question is
Yeah.
what advice can you give to upcoming musicians?
Hey, I think let me not say musicians because I'm now calling myself a gospel artist because that's what I'm doing. So let me rather be specific to say to other upcoming gospel musicians,
Okay.
so that I can answer your question very well. I think the first thing is to rely on God. I think that's the first thing because this ministry is not ours. It has an owner. So if there's an owner, it's, the easiest thing to do is to rely on the person. So in this case, the owner of the ministry is God. If you don't rely on God, um, actually there's for those guys who do very well, there's a tendency to think I got this thing. You understand that time, but I think the moment you start doing that, you are already sinking. I think just yesterday, I think we were learning about Peter. You know, there was a time disciples where Jesus was across the sea, and then the disciples were on the other shore. And then Peter said, "Can I come and see you?" And then Jesus said, "Okay, come." So he started walking on water.
Yeah.
But every time he was looking at Jesus, he didn't sink. The moment he started feeling himself now that I think yeah, that's when he said what.
Sinking.
So it is imperative to always rely on God. In fact, there are so many challenges. You can't do it without relying on God. The other thing that maybe I can tell artists is, I think let's stop being crybabies. Because you see, you're getting yourself into this new industry. You don't even know what happens. Instead of trying to read and understand what happens, how the music industry works, we start by complaining. So usually, if you start by complaining, you don't achieve things. So that's what I would say. Let's not be crybabies. And then the other thing they complain about is because I'm okay. Some of the things, okay, I'm part of it. The resources. It takes a lot. Imagine you have to record a song in the studio, you have to record a video, you have to publish it, and to just the production part, it can cost you a lot.
So these financial resources.
Yes. So maybe we need to pray. That's why I was saying I refer everything to God. Then God can provide the resources for you then to be able to do the ministry.
Okay.
Yes, and then they also complain about people who criticize them a lot. Because you see, when you do something, I understand them. Imagine the time that you take in the studio to do the audio first, and then the next thing you do the video. The resources that you put together, and then someone just comes and say, this is rubbish.
Time and effort.
So, but I think one thing I can tell upcoming artists is I like criticizers actually, because people that love you will listen, but criticizers listen more. If you hear someone saying you did this on your song, and you know maybe it's at the end of the song, which means they've been listening, looking for a mistake. So I like them. So every time maybe they say something on Facebook, what I would just say, I'll say thank you for listening, because I know for you to see that mistake or for you to see what you don't like, then you would have listened.
So it's all constructive
Yes.
criticism.
So the good thing about music now, the moment you listen, you are stuck.
Okay.
One day, when you don't want to listen to it, it will just ring in you. So they mustn't be discouraged. And then maybe at some point in life, I did African history and European and American. There's one guy that maybe we can use. There was a guy called Bismarck. Bismarck is one of the politicians that is credited in unifying Germany. Remember, Germany was not one country.
Yes.
So let me quote him. I think if I can remember very well, it's from the book by LCB Seaman, and the book is called From Vienna to Versailles. So Bismarck said, when he was addressing King William, because he was the king, he says, to quote him, "We, William, by the grace of God, King of Prussia, and after the German princes have unanimously appealed to us to renew the imperial dignity that has been in abeyance for more than 60 years, hereby inform you that we regard it as our duty to our fatherland to respond to these summons." So you can see he took it upon himself.
Yes.
So if a gospel artist, then regard it as a duty to this gospel call. Otherwise, if you don't respond, then you won't enjoy even. Because besides ministering, it's also ministering to you, and you are part of it. You enjoy the process.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
And then the last point from Bismarck, if I were to quote him again, maybe the other point that we complain about is we cry about maybe journalists not covering our stories. We complain about DJs not playing our music. We complain about TV stations not playing our music. And then, so I would say, and then the other complaint that I've heard is when awards are given, they complain that there's favoritism. So let me start with the awards. So I've heard people complaining. So I've asked them, did you submit? No, I didn't. So how do you expect to win when you don't submit? Better you submit and see what happens.
Yes.
Yes. And then the second part now is complaining about how the journalists or the DJs don't play our music. Yes, initially they may not play your music, or the journalists may not write about you because we don't command respect yet. Because they're also looking, unfortunately, we're living in the views generation. So if I'm a DJ and then I want more viewership or more listeners, I would play popular guys.
Yeah.
Yes. But you can't be discouraged. You must keep producing content consistently. And the good thing about that anyway is that in our generation now, there's social media. If the DJs don't like you, just post on social media. There's a crowd already there. There's audience already. More than maybe the ones that the DJ would listen at a certain time.
Okay.
So if I were to go back to Bismarck, for him to be able to complete the unification, the process, the stumbling block was Austria. Because the other part of Germany was attached to Austria. So there was no way you could have managed to unify Germany without attacking Austria. So he said a very interesting quotation. Let me say it now. He says, "When the army has been brought to such an extent as to command respect, then I will attack Austria and unify Germany." You see. So until such a time that you command respect, then the DJs will listen. But for now, let's work. Let's push. Yes. I think
nice.
I don't know if I answered your question.
Very nice.
All right. Okay.
Very nice. Lovely response for just one question.
Yes. So I was long. So I was long. Yeah. Yeah.
Very beautiful and quite rich. And I'm sure our upcoming artists will learn quite a few things from what Sam Legend has shared with us.
Thank you
today.
very much. Thank you for the question. I wish you could ask me more next time.
Definitely, with more time. Okay.